Hello, Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates, and analysis. At least two Tollywood or Telugu actors were among the participants whose blood test returned positive for drug use after a rave party was busted by the police in Bangalore on 20th May. The rave party in fact took place on 18th May, the police said. Telugu actors Hema and Ashi Roy were among the attendees who allegedly tested positive for narcotics. The blood samples of the guests of a rave party busted at a farmhouse in Bangalore were sent to a laboratory for testing, Bangalore City Police Commissioner B. Dayananda said on 20th May. The blood samples of two popular Telugu actors, who attended a rave party in a farmhouse here on 20th May, tested positive for drug consumption, police sources said on Thursday. Among the 98 blood samples collected from the participants in the rave party held at GM Farmhouse in Singina Agrara near Electronics City in Bangalore, the reports confirmed drug consumption by 86 people, sources said. Police sources confirmed that more than 50 men and close to 30 women tested positive for drug consumption. The special wing of CCB police is preparing to send notices to these individuals and call them in for questioning. One of the actresses had made a video in Bangalore claiming that she was in Hyderabad and denying her presence at the rave party. Another popular Telugu actress admitted that she attended the party but claimed she did not know what was happening inside and asked people. Modi on Thursday claimed that the India bloc is talking about having 5 PMS over the next 5 years and said the fight over ghee has broken out in the alliance, even before the cow has given milk. Hours before campaigning for the 6th round of the 7th-phase Lok Sabha polls came to an end, Modi at a rally in Haryana's Mahendragarh asserted that till he is alive, no one can snatch the reservation for Dalits and Tiavan Bils. Describing himself as Sevak, the Prime Minister claimed that the constituents' opposition parties, including the Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, Trinamool Congress and the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam were talking about having 5 Prime Ministers in the next 5 years. The India bloc is extremely communal, casteist and nepotist, he said, while alleging that when the Congress was in power, it did not allow construction of the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Voting for the 10 Lok Sabha seats in Haryana will be held on 25th May. Recalling his days working for the BJP in the state in the mid-1990s, Prime Minister Modi said that Haryana has showered a lot of love on him. The Prime Minister also targeted the India bloc, saying it has already started making grounds for whom to blame for their defeat.
साथियों, अपने वोट बैंक को खुश करने के लिए इंडी गठबंधन वाले कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। हमारे यहां हरियाणा में हर कोई दिन में 200-400 बार राम राम बोलता है। हर 10 कदम पर वो राम राम बोलेगा ही बोलेगा। राम राम के बिना हरियाणा में कोई काम होता है क्या? लेकिन कांग्रेस का बस चले तो हरियाणा में राम का नाम लेने वालों पर ये लोगों को गिरफ्तार कर लें। कांग्रेस पूरे देश से ही राम को हटाना चाहती है। कांग्रेस जब तक सत्ता में रही उसने राम मंदिर नहीं बनने दिया। कांग्रेस ने राम मंदिर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा तक का बहिष्कार कर दिया।
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Thursday claimed the BJP believes women should be treated as second-class citizens and that its ideological parent RSS does not allow women to enter its shakhas. Addressing an all-women poll meeting in Mangalpuri in support of the Congress North West Delhi Lok Sabha seat candidate Udit Raj, Gandhi said though the BJP passed the women's reservation bill in parliament with much pomp and show, later it said that it will be implemented after 10 years. He also shared pictures of him interacting and clicking pictures with passengers in the metro. Speaking at the poll meeting, Gandhi said working women have to do a second shift of chores after getting home and their efforts go unnoticed. If men work for 8 hours, the women work for 16 hours and there is no compensation for their work. It is a kind of unpaid and unrecognized work, he added. Stressing that the Congress does not want women to do unpaid work, Gandhi reiterated his party's promise of introducing the Mahalakshmi Yojana if it is voted to power. Under this scheme, the Congress has promised to provide 8,500 rupees per month and 1 lakh rupees annually to women from families living below the poverty line.
मतलब आप में से यहां पे इस मीटिंग में जो भी गरीबी रेखा से नीचे है, जब आप जुलाई 5 तारीख को अपना बैंक अकाउंट देखोगे, उसमें आपके 8,500 रुपए मिलेंगे। वो जुलाई में होगा, अगस्त में होगा, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर, दिसंबर, वो चलता जाएगा। कब रुकेगा? जब वो परिवार गरीबी रेखा से निकल आएगा। और इसके पीछे 2-3 सोच है। एक सोच है कि अगर आप परिवार को फाइनेंशियली मजबूत बनाना चाहते हो तो वो महिला बना सकती है, वो पुरुष नहीं बना सकता। एक्सेप्शंस हो सकते हैं, मगर अगर आप नॉर्मल तरीके से देखें तो महिला बना सकती है, पुरुष वो काम नहीं कर सकता। पहली बात। दूसरी बात, आप फ्री में काम करती हो, सरकार ये नहीं चाहती है कि आप फ्री में काम करो। और तीसरी बात, अगर हमने महिलाओं को पैसा दिया तो वो दूरदृष्टि से सोचेंगी, फाइनेंशियल अवेयरनेस के साथ काम करेंगी और परिवार को ज्यादा फायदा होगा।
A low pressure system over the Bay of Bengal will intensify and reach Bangladesh and adjoining West Bengal coasts as a severe cyclonic storm by Sunday evening, the IMD said on Thursday. This is the first cyclone in the Bay of Bengal this pre-monsoon season and will be named Rimal, according to a system of naming cyclones in the Indian Ocean region. The system will concentrate into a depression over central Bay of Bengal by Friday morning. It will further intensify into a cyclonic storm on Saturday morning and reach Bangladesh and the adjoining West Bengal coast as a severe cyclonic storm by Sunday evening, said India Meteorological Department, IMD, scientist Monica Sharma. According to the IMD, the cyclone could reach a wind speed of 102 km per hour on Sunday. The Met Office has warned of very heavy rainfall in the coastal districts of West Bengal, North Odisha, Mizoram, Tripura and South Manipur on May 26 to 27. Fisherfolk out at sea have been advised to return to the coast and not venture into the Bay of Bengal until 27 May. Scientists say cyclonic storms are intensifying rapidly and retaining their potency for longer periods due to warmer sea surface temperatures, a result of oceans absorbing most of the excess heat from greenhouse gas emissions. The past 30 years have witnessed the highest sea surface temperatures since records began in 1880. Investors' wealth on Thursday went up by 4.28 lakh rupees crore amid the ongoing optimistic trend in equities where the benchmark Sensex hit its lifetime peak. The 30-share BSE Sensex regained the 75,000 level in intraday trade on Thursday. It climbed 1,196.98 points or 1.61% to settle at a new closing peak of 75,418.04. During the day, the Sensex zoomed 1,278.85 points or 1.72% to reach the intraday high of 75,499.91. The NSE Nifty went up by 369.85 points or 1.64% to settle at 22,967.65. It jumped 395.8 points or 1.75% to 22,993.60, the barometer's record intraday high. Investors' wealth went up by 4,28,602.18 crore rupees with the market capitalization of BSE-listed companies reaching an all-time high of 4,20,22,635.90 crore rupees. Market cap of BSE-listed companies too crossed $5 trillion, making India the fifth country to reach this milestone, he added. The combined market capitalization of BSE-listed companies hit the historic $5 trillion mark for the first time at the close of trade on Wednesday. The India Meteorological Department on Thursday forecast thunderstorms accompanied by lightning and gusty winds in parts of Andhra Pradesh for 5 days between May 23rd and 27th. Rainfall is likely in parts of north coastal Andhra Pradesh, Yanam, south coastal Andhra Pradesh and Rayalaseema, while heavy rains are predicted in some places in north coastal districts on Friday. Gusty winds with speeds reaching up to 50 km per kmph are expected, said the weather department in a press release. Conditions are favorable for the advance of southwest monsoon over some more parts of South Bay of Bengal, remaining parts of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Andaman Sea and some parts of East Central Bay of Bengal during the next 2 days, it said. According to the Met Department, Wednesday's low pressure over West Central and adjoining Southwest Bay of Bengal moved northeastward and transformed into a well-marked low pressure area over West Central and adjoining South Bay of Bengal by 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. It is likely to move northeastward and intensify into a cyclonic storm over East Central Bay of Bengal by 25th May morning. The 7 Maoists were killed in an encounter with security personnel in a forest along Narayanpur-Bijapur inter-district border in Chhattisgarh on Thursday, police said. The gunfight broke out around 11 a.m. when a joint team of security personnel was out on an anti-Naxal operation and the intermittent firing was still underway, Narayanpur Superintendent of Police Prabhat Kumar said. 7 Naxalites in Maoist uniform have been gunned down in the exchange of fire so far, the police said. Altogether 7 firearms had been recovered from the encounter site, he said. The operation is still underway and further details were awaited, he added. With this incident, 112 Maoists have been killed so far this year in separate encounters with security forces in the state. 10 Naxalites, including 3 women, were killed in an encounter with security personnel in a forest along the border of Narayanpur and Kanker districts on 30th April. On 16th April, security forces had gunned down 29 Naxalites during an exchange of fire in Kanker district, according to police. On 10th May, they said 12 Naxalites were eliminated in a gun battle with security personnel near Pidia village in Bijapur district. However, local villagers and activists had claimed that those killed near Pidia were not Naxalites and that the Ministry of External Affairs is processing a request by the Karnataka government to cancel the diplomatic passport of Prajwal Revanna, the suspended Janata Dal secular MP who is accused of sexual abuse of several women and is believed to be in Germany now. Official sources said the MIA has begun the process to revoke Prajwal's passport after receiving a letter from the Karnataka government. Prajwal, the grandson of former Prime Minister H.D. Deve Gowda, is at the center of a mass sexual abuse case and the Hassan MP left India on 27 April, a day after voting for the Lok Sabha elections took place in his constituency. It is learnt that the MIA is undertaking the process to cancel Prajwal's diplomatic passport under the provisions of the Passports Act of 1967 as well as related regulations. If the passport is cancelled, then Prajwal's stay abroad will be illegal and he may face legal action by authorities concerned in the country he is staying, a person familiar with the matter said. On Wednesday, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah wrote a second letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi urging him to take prompt and necessary action to cancel Prajwal's diplomatic passport. The Chief Minister sent a similar letter to the Prime Minister on 1st May. The special investigation team set up by the Karnataka government to probe the sexual abuse charges against Prajwal wrote to the MIA to cancel his diplomatic passport after an arrest warrant was issued against him by a local court. A blue corner notice seeking information on Revanna's whereabouts has already been issued by the Interpol following a request by the Special Pradesh Chief Electoral Officer Mukesh Kumar Meena has said that 8 police teams have been combing for YSRCP Macherla MLA candidate and sitting MLA Pinelli Ramakrishna Reddy. He said that the video footage of MLA vandalizing the EVM at the Palwai Gate polling station was not released by the Election Commission and no video footage was also released. During the investigation, it might have gone out through someone. The CEO said that in connection with the EVM vandalization, the polling officer and assistant polling officer on duty were suspended for not giving correct information. Addressing the media persons on Thursday, he clarified that the Election Commission took serious view of the incident. The MLA would be arrested soon, he said. He said that it was not good on the part of the Telugu Desam party leaders to visit the injured activists in the Macherla constituency now. The situation is coming under control now. Mukesh Kumar Meena stated that the strong three-tier security with central and state police forces continues at the strong rooms where the EVMs are secured and the officers are continuously monitoring the performance of the CCTV cameras installed to cover the sealed doors of the strong rooms, security corridors and the performance of the CCTV cameras connected to the control room. Meena added that the police officers should be alert 24 hours for Sleeder was found murdered in Vanparthi district of Telangana with his family calling it politically motivated. The incident occurred in Lakshmipalli village of the district during the intervening night of Wednesday and Thursday when some unknown persons attacked 55-year-old Sridhar Reddy who was sleeping outside his house, with axe resulting in his death, police said. The father of the deceased alerted the police on Thursday morning after finding his son lying dead. The victim's father, in a complaint, alleged that some local leaders of the Congress party were responsible for his son's death. However, the police said they did not find any evidence in this regard so far. A senior police official said they were looking into different angles including property dispute between the deceased man rivals. A murder case was registered and investigation is on. Condemning the incident, former Minister and BRS MLA T. Harish Rao demanded a thorough investigation into the political murder. He also sought stern punishment to the accused.
ముఖ్యంగా కొల్లాపూర్ నుంచి ఎమ్మెల్యేగా గెలిచి ఈరోజు మంత్రిగా ఉన్న జూపల్లి కృష్ణారావు గారే తీసుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఇది మొదటి హత్య కాదు కొల్లాపూర్లో. ఈ ప్రభుత్వం వచ్చినాక పేరుకేమో ప్రజాపాలన, కానీ చేస్తున్నది ప్రతీకార పాలన. ప్రతీకారంతో రగిలిపోతూ ఎన్నికల్లో తనకు వత్తాసు ఎవరెవరు పలకలేదో వారి మీద ప్రతీకారం తీర్చుకునే దిక్కుమాలిన పాలన ఇది కాంగ్రెస్ పాలన. ఇవాళ ఈ దారుణమైన హత్యకు ప్రధానంగా బాధ్యత తీసుకోవాల్సింది ప్రభుత్వమే. అందులో ముఖ్యంగా నేను ముఖ్యమంత్రి రేవంత్ రెడ్డిని డిమాండ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నా. ఈ మంత్రి కొల్లాపూర్లో మన తెలంగాణలో ఎక్కడా లేని ఫ్యాక్షన్ సంస్కృతిని ఇక్కడ తెచ్చి జనవరిలో మల్లేష్ యాదవ్ మృతికి కారణమైనారు. మరి ఈరోజు శ్రీధర్ రెడ్డి గారి మృతికి కూడా కారణమైనారు. ఒకటే నియోజకవర్గంలో 4 నెలల వ్యవధిలో 2 హత్యలు జరిగినాయంటే మరి మంత్రి గారి ప్రోద్బలం లేకుండా, మంత్రి గారి ప్రమేయం లేకుండా ఆయన అనుచరులు ఇంత దారుణాలకు తెగబడరు.
The Department of Telecom has directed telecom operators to verify more than 6 lakh mobile connections suspected to have been obtained using invalid, non-existent, or fake documents, an official statement said on Thursday. The DOT has issued directives to telecom operators to carry out immediate re-verification of the identified mobile numbers within 60 days. The department has flagged around 6.80 lakh mobile connections as potentially fraudulent after advanced AI-driven analysis. The questionable veracity of the POI or POI KYC documents suggests the use of fabricated documents for obtaining these mobile connections. DOT has issued directives to the TSPs to carry out immediate re-verification of these identified mobile numbers. All TSPs are mandated to re-verify the flagged connections within 60 days. Failure to complete re-verification will result in the disconnection of the concerned mobile numbers, the statement said. In April, DOT flagged 10,834 suspected mobile numbers for re-verification. Of these, 8,272 mobile connections were disconnected, failing benchmark stock indices. Sensex and Nifty rallied more than 1.6% to close at lifetime high levels on Thursday following buying in banking, oil and auto shares and a record dividend payout by the RBI to the government. Regaining the 75,000 level after its best single-day gain since 29 January, the 30-share BSE Sensex closed at all-time peak of 75,418.04, up by 1,196.98 points or 1.61% over the last close. During the day, it zoomed 1,278.85 points or 1.72% to reach its all-time intraday high of 75,499.91. The NSE Nifty inched closer to the record 23,000 mark during the day. The 50 issue index went up by 369.85 points or 1.64% to 22,967.65. During the day, it jumped 395.8 points or 1.75% to 22,993.60, its intraday record peak. Early onset of southwest monsoon has provided a boost to the domestic market, which was underperforming in the last 2 months to other emerging markets, Nair said. Among the Sensex firms, Mahindra & Mahindra, Larsen & Toubro, Axis Bank, Maruti, Ultratech Cement, IndusInd Bank, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel, ICICI Bank, Titan, Tata Consultancy Services and Reliance Industries were the major gainers. Sun Pharma, Powergrid and NTPC were the laggards. Among the indices, auto climbed 2.28%, capital goods by 2.13%, Bankex by 1.98%, financial services by 1.64%, services by 1.63%, tech by 1.42%, consumer discretionary by 1.19% and IT by 1.18%. Metal index emerged as the laggard. Foreign institutional investors offloaded equities worth 686.04 crore rupees on Wednesday, according to. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.